everybody, what is up? My name is Colby, and welcome to the Headfirst podcast. I know it has been a while, and we have a lot of news to get to, but before we do that, we have a little bit of podcast info to get to, which you might have seen from the title. Jane has officially decided to leave the podcast. She has a very busy schedule, and she just decided that it would be better for her to leave and focus on all of her, school obligations and all of her different stuff like that, which I totally understand. But as of right now, I am your only host. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely going to be looking for a new host. I do want to do a replacement because I'm not quite sure if I'm interesting enough to carry on a podcast by myself every single week. And it's just it's much better to have a 2 or 3 person dynamic on podcasts, just to kind of discuss everything. So, yeah. We will miss Jane very much, but she is gone, and right now you have just me, which is, for this episode, definitely fine, because we have one main subject that we're covering that Jane probably could not care less about. But yeah, it's been a while. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a great winter. We stopped doing the podcast for, I think the whole month of December. I don't think we did one. And we're just coming back mid-January now. Things are just I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Had a very busy winter, especially with us two trying to do it. It just wouldn't have worked. So yeah, you have me for now. A lot of stuff happened entertainment-wise over the winter. I think, just popping into my mind right now, the biggest thing was Ed Sheeran. He released 2 new singles and his track list for his album. But we're not really going to be going over anything too much from the winter break. What we are going to be discussing is something that happened just last night. I am actually recording this podcast on Friday, and fingers crossed that I'm not trash and can get it out in time and everything works out. It'll be coming out on Friday, too. And last night, the Nintendo Switch presentation was held. Now, I know we talked a lot about the Switch on this podcast before, but what happened at the presentation is that a lot of new info was revealed to us. A lot of new games, a little bit about the system. Still didn't really actually get any specs on the system. Don't know if we ever will. But yeah, a lot of new stuff from the system. So that is pretty much all we are going to be talking about this podcast, is new games that were unveiled and new info about the system. It's pretty much going to be a full recap of the Nintendo Switch presentation. Alright, so I guess we'll kind of go in chronological order of what happened in the conference. I do want to say real quick, though, I am currently recording this with very cold hands at home because I just got home from getting to, what's it called? From GameStop. I got there 3 hours early to pre-order the Switch. I was one of 15 people. I did not need to get there that early. I could have just walked in as it was opening, as some people did, and would have been fine. But I got nervous, and I just sat there I stood for 3 hours, had some nice chats with some other people. But 3 hours early, and I have a Switch pre-ordered. Anyways, though, onto the conference. The Nintendo Switch is being released on March 3rd with a price of $300. I'll also kind of share my thoughts on everything as I talk about it. I'm very excited about the $300 price, which is what I was hoping. Did not expect a March 3rd release date, though. I think we were all expecting something closer to the end of March. So hearing March 3rd was actually super nice because I want it. I want it right now, and this is closer, so I'm happy. They are going to have, obviously, online play, and it's a free trial before fall of 2017 hits, and then it's becoming a paid service, which is interesting because that sounds to me like they're really investing in their online, which is something they definitely have not done in the past, as you can all tell. It definitely seems like they're going to be, making it a paid service so they can really get the infrastructure going and really just have it be something solid and reliable as opposed to what we've had in the past, which is definitely a good thing. Pricing is going to suck because I already pay for PlayStation Online, but I'll definitely be paying for this as well. Nintendo Switch will be region-free, so you can get it wherever. Up to 8 Nintendo Switch consoles can be connected for local wireless multiplayer. So I don't know if it's the same thing for online. I probably doubt it. But 8-player local is definitely interesting and a cool thing. You know, you usually expect your standard 4-player. So that's going to be something really interesting to see. I guess Mario Kart will definitely be a good thing for that. And there is game capture. So there is a button on the Joy-Con, on one of the Joy-Cons, that you can use to capture gameplay. Right now, I guess launch, it's going to be just screenshots. From how he said it, it sounded like launch was going to be screenshots, and then later on they would introduce video. So that whole thing on PlayStation and Xbox where everyone has a YouTube channel now, even more people will be getting one now. And also the Joy-Cons are definitely super interesting. I wasn't like super duper excited about them beforehand, but then they just didn't stop talking about them the entire conference, and now I'm kind of excited for the Joy-Cons. First thing is they come in neon blue and red, which is really cool. And awesome enough, GameStop didn't have the neon red and blue, so I had to get gray. Yay. So I'm hoping I can maybe change that in the future. I doubt it. But yeah, so the Joy-Cons come in neon red, blue, gray, and I think they're announcing others. And they also have a motion IR camera, which can detect like different movements of your hand, like rock, paper, scissors they used as an example, and how far away your hands are. So that could introduce some fun things. Not really sure how they're going to be able to use that, except for first-party stuff. But it could be pretty interesting. And they also have like HD Rumble, is what they called it, which they showed off as it's Rumble, but HD. As in, like, you can, it's like one example they use is that you can use it as like the sensation of shaking ice cubes in a glass, which sounds really cool. Once again, I don't know how often they're going to be able to use that. It could make for some really immersive gameplay moments. We'll have to just see how they use it though. But Joy-Cons sound really cool. I'm sure there's more about them that we've yet to find out, but they sound really cool. You know, I wasn't super duper excited for them prior to this conference, and now they sound really exciting. And what else? Okay, so we have some game announcements too, obviously. The first thing is 1-2 Switch, which is basically, I call it the Wii Sports of the Switch, except it's not a pack-in and it's about the price of a full game. Basically, it's using all the different Joy-Con stuff I was telling you about, like with all the haptic feedback and stuff, for all sorts of different games. Like there's like a shootout, kind of like a Western shootout, you know, who pulls their gun first. There's all sorts of, you know, mini games like that kind of. It doesn't seem that great, but it's there, and you can get it if you want. Another thing they announced is ARMS, another new game coming. And ARMS is basically, it's like Street Fighter, but 3D, kind of like Punch-Out, except you have extendable arms. All the characters just have really long arms. That's it. That's all. They just have big extendable arms. They made a really big deal out of it, but nobody seems that excited about it, honestly. It's just a fighting game with extendable arms. I'm not even quite sure. I don't believe that's launched. Let me actually check on that. Yeah, I just checked. It says spring 2017. Yeah, I didn't think so. So that basically means it's not a launch title. I mean, it could be, because March is in spring. Maybe they're just trying to make it launch title. Doesn't seem that great. And then we got, which was very interesting, Splatoon 2, which I think we were all expecting like Splatoon Second Wave or like Splatoon Deluxe. We didn't get that. We got a full sequel, which is definitely very interesting. I was 100% expecting a pack-in re-release with, you know, some upgraded features. Not what we got. What we got was a full-fledged sequel, and from what we saw, it doesn't look crazy different. All the Squidlings had new hairstyles. I'm excited about that. Looked like there was a lot more customizability. There was new weapons. All the specials are different. Like one of the specials, for example, you got a little jetpack that sprayed ink everywhere. It was basically Super Mario Sunshine. It sprayed ink everywhere, and you could like shoot cannons. So there's just a lot of different specials and weapons, and it said that single player is back with some of your favorite characters, which I can't think of any memorable characters except the old man, and like I didn't like him. I just hope the single player honestly does something a little bit more immersive than the original Splatoon, because I didn't really like it that much. But yeah, so single player, hopefully they introduce some new modes. To me, honestly, it looked like more of a upgraded port than a full sequel. There really didn't look like that much was going on. And I mean, I think it's only been like 2 years, 1 or 2 years since Splatoon released. So, I mean, they've definitely got to make this different. But then again, nobody has a Wii U, so nobody will know what the first Splatoon was like. It's fine. So, new Splatoon, Splatoon 2, coming, I think it was summer. So, I mean, they're kind of staggering the launches. Honestly, the launch lineup does not look too great, except for one game. We'll get to that, though. Because next we have we just talked about Splatoon 2. Next we have Splatoon 2 again. No, we have Super Mario Odyssey, and oh fuck. Fuck, I forgot I'm trying not to curse on this. Oh lord. It looks good. The trailer started out and it looks like a bustling New York City, and I was like, this, for some reason, I feel like this is going to be Mario or something. This isn't going to be oh my god, it's Mario. Because, like, and then it panned down to, like, a manhole, and it, like, popped up, and you heard a little, like, noise, and I was like, no way. No way. Mario jumped out of the manhole. Oh my god. Mario's in New York City. This game, it's called Super Mario Odyssey, and it has Mario traveling to a bunch of different exotic places. There's like a tundra and a desert and a desert kingdom. It straight up looked like a desert kingdom. In New York City. No joke, Mario was jumping around building to building. People were looking down at him like there were full-sized people who were like looking down at Mario and like, the fuck? And there were cars. He was jumping on street poles. He was also playing jump rope with some people. But it looks so good. It looks great. We don't know that much about it. Visuals looked really clean, really nice. Mario looked great. Looks fun. It looks like a Super Mario Sunshine Galaxy. Just really polished, 3D, big open world. I mean, very exciting. It looks like a very open space for Mario to explore, which I'm very excited about. I mean, there were cars. Can Mario get hit by a car? Is a question we need to ask ourselves. But yeah, so Super Mario Odyssey, and his hat is alive also. That's the thing. His hat has eyes, and he was using his hat as a weapon. So look out for that. But it looks really, really, really great. I wasn't expecting that, because when I saw New York, I was like, I don't know why I got the sensation, but I was like, this is Mario. Goddamn it, this is Mario, and I could not be more pleased with the results. But yeah, so far we've gotten 1-2 Switch, ARMS, Splatoon 2, and Super Mario Odyssey. However, the games did not stop there. We also got an announcement of Xenoblade 2, and I can't really say much about Xenoblade 2 because I don't know anything about Xenoblade 1. Looks like a fun RPG with a lot of different fun, exciting elements. That is all I know. But Xenoblade 2 was announced. Along with that, all the trailers are up on Nintendo's YouTube page, by the way. You can totally go and watch all of them. We also got an announcement of Fire Emblem Warriors, which is something we didn't get any info on. It was just, I think, like 7 or so crystals and just kind of some fun music. So it was just kind of a teaser. I can't imagine it's too far into development right now. Yeah, it's a holiday release, so holiday release for that. And then along with that, we had the announcement of Dragon Quest X, 11, and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. I don't know anything about the next few games. I honestly don't know anything about, so I don't want to say anything because I don't want to offend anyone or make any wrong assumptions. I'm just not going to do that. So Dragon Quest X, 11, and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. A Shin Megami Tensei game, Project Octopath Traveler. I will talk a little bit about that because that was new to everyone. So this was definitely interesting. It looked kind of like a 16-bit RPG in the style, like a 2D, but your character was 2D and it was in a 3D perspective, kind of. It's hard to explain. It looks really nice. I will give it that. It looks really cool. The art style is definitely, it's just interesting. It's one you have to kind of look up for yourself. It's called Project Octopath Traveler. Cool art style. Don't exactly know much about the game because I guess they said it's very early into development. So you'll kind of have to look up that one yourself. But it's called Project Octopath Traveler. So you can look that one up. And then we got the announcement that for sure Skyrim is coming to the Switch. And Bethesda for the longest time have been like, we're not going to say if we have anything in development or not. I mean, even though it was like the primary thing shown in the trailer. But yes, Skyrim is coming. They showed off, they talked about how excited they are to be working with Nintendo, and they showed off a little bit of the game. Not too much that we haven't seen, though, but that's super exciting. And then we also got a game announcement of No More Heroes. No More Heroes is about Travis Touchdown Travis. I'm not really sure. I don't know much about him. I just know it centers around him, and that's really all they said. They didn't say much except for the fact that it heavily features him, and it will be coming to the Switch. And then we got the fact that EA Sports came on and announced that FIFA's coming. Oh boy. Honestly, the guy who presented it looked like he had been kidnapped and put up there. It was one of the guys from EA Sports, and I couldn't care less. I don't like real sports, and I don't like sports video games, but we know FIFA's coming to the Switch now. And then we got the box contents, which was just, everything standard. Like, it's got your 2 Joy-Cons, the Switch, obviously, the dock, the grip for the Joy-Cons. So just basically all the essentials. And then we also got the fact that pre-orders are starting in Japan late, the 21st. So everyone was like, oh god, because we thought that we wouldn't be able to pre-order here, but everything's fine. Don't worry, I got there at 7 a.m. We were allowed to. And then I'm going to skip the next thing on the list for a little bit because I want to talk about that for a long time. We got the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe trailer. And it was a little bit more of the game than we've seen. For one, it showed, new characters like King Boo, all of the DLC characters, so all the Animal Crossing and Link and all the new stages are there. And then we also got news that the Squidlings are there. It showed at least 4 different variations of Squidlings are in the game, and there was a Splatoon stage, which was one of the new stages from Splatoon 2, it looked like. So there's a Splatoon track, well, it wasn't actually a track, it was a battle map. So they definitely showed off battle mode a ton. Like, look, we have it, it's here, guys. It looked like pretty much almost the whole trailer was battle mode. So it had the Squidlings and the Squid map. So we just got them, King Boo, all the DLC, and then battle mode is what we got from this trailer, and it's called Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So it's obviously an enhanced port, and it looks pretty good. I'm excited. We also got, no one's really talking about this, and no one really cares about it except me. We got a Bomberman trailer, Bomberman S, I believe it's called, and it's kind of like it's definitely got the retro feel of the old Bomberman games, and just in a 3D space. Looks really nice, looks really pretty. It's good. And then we got something I want to talk about for a while. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is releasing on March 3rd, 2017. Launch day. Guys, it's a launch title. It's a launch title. Oh my god, it's a launch title. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is a launch title. And we got some fucking... Oh, I'm trying not to curse. We got some freaking news on this game, guys. Where to begin? So we got some new game footage, and we found out that it's a launch title. Crazy thing. There's voice acting. Yeah. Let that sink in. both Zelda, who they showed and is super duper pretty, who will also be having an amiibo of her. So I think there's a horseback, a Link, regular Link, a Guardian, and then Zelda, which makes 4 amiibo. They showed off Zelda, and both Zelda and who is thought to be her father, who says "Save my daughter," both have voice acting, like full on, not just like hat, like actual like lines of dialogue that has been voice acted, which is totally a departure for the series. Super duper crazy, but it's exciting. They showed off some more landscapes and just how big the map looked. Zelda crying to Link. She looks to be definitely heavily involved in the plot, and I hope they kind of continue this trend that they've been doing with her, where she's not just some damsel in distress, and she's more of an asset to the team, where she helps out Link a lot. And I really like that they do that with her as opposed to Peach, who's just the worst. It's really exciting, and I hope that they continue with that with her. But he also did say "Save my daughter," so maybe not. It looks really nice though, guys. It looks so pretty. It seems like, I mean, this could be wrong. This is just a guess. But it seemed like it looked like it was running better on the Switch than on the Wii U, which I think we all knew. But it looks like there's a frame rate increase, and there's not kind of the frame dips when they get into combat. But it just looks really nice, and the voice acting, I think, came as a surprise to everyone. But it looks nice, voice acting. The story's looking good. We finally got to look at Zelda. She's super duper pretty. She's also embracing the thick eyebrow trend of today's youth, which is great. No, but she's super expressive. I mean, they showed her like crying on Link's like chest, and everyone in the chat went crazy. But but like, and she said like I think it was all I've done in my life now has been for nothing, and she was like running, and she seems very involved. And actually, the trailer at the end, it cuts to black, and then like it shows Link sleeping, and she says, "Open your eyes." So it looks like she's gonna have a big part in the story. But honestly, at one point when they like did like a big panorama of like everything you could see at the map, I went, And then when the March 3rd, 2017 went up, I went, like, I actually was gasping and making like noises while watching this trailer. Honestly, guys, I just cannot begin to sing this game enough praises. In my opinion, it was really the star of the show. I think it was everybody's star of the show. I think we were all we wanted to obviously see all the new stuff they had to offer, but at the same time, I think we were all so excited to see more Breath of the Wild. And seeing Zelda, I think, was a really cool reveal for me. I don't know about everyone else. I thought it was really awesome. It just looks like such a great game, and for a lot of people, this is going to be the reason that they pick up the Switch at launch, because there is not a great launch lineup. That's just put forward very simply, it's not the best. And I feel like honestly, this is going to be a big problem. They really did drop the ball on the launch lineup, but I think this is going to be the reason that some people pick this up on launch day. I probably would have picked it up with nothing, with no software at all. But now I'm for sure obviously going to be picking it up at launch because of Zelda. There's no other games I want at launch, and I think that this is going to be a huge seller. It's so great, guys. It's so great. I'm so happy. The biggest thing I wanted from this presentation that I didn't get was specs. We didn't get any of that once again, which was definitely disappointing. And I don't know how long they're going to be able to get away with just not showing them. But clearly it worked again, because I went out and pre-ordered it without knowing the specs, and so did a lot of other people. Nintendo can get away with a lot of different stuff that no other company can, because they're Nintendo. But you really have to imagine that you're going to be getting specs sometime late this month, early February, sometime soon, because they can't really keep delaying that. The fact that they were able to do so during this presentation in itself is pretty, I wouldn't say astounding, but pretty impressive. But that's basically going to wrap up this podcast. Guys, like I said, I am trying to find a replacement for Jane. But, in all honesty, she was perfect for a podcast. Her personality was great. She's very smart, and we had a good rapport. and finding someone who I know I will actually want to do this podcast with, who can really engage me in discussion like her, and she has a very different view on pop culture, so we were able to cover a lot of different stuff. Finding someone like that is going to be difficult. I'm going to try to get someone by the end of February, I'll kind of say. But like I said, I'm not really sure. The podcast is not ending, though. I can assure you that. I'm not going to end it. I love this podcast too much. I love podcasting too much. It's just not going to end. So don't worry about that. We'll be sticking around. But thank you all so much for listening in again. I think this is one of the more entertaining episodes with just your boy Colby. I look forward to a whole 2017 of podcasting with you guys. Next week, I'll hopefully try to bring you guys some new news that isn't just gaming related. But until then, I'm going to go. I love you all so much. I will see you in the next episode. As always, thank you guys so much for listening.